$5. Some people may not even know what that looks like because we use so much credit and digital uh, spending modes these days. But that is a $5 bill. Question. I could give you $5 and I could say, hey, hold this till tomorrow. Or I could give you 5 minutes of my time. Which to you is most valuable? More valuable, I should say. The $5 that I tell you to hold until tomorrow, or the 5 minutes that I give you of my day. Before I answer that question, of course, this is the World Class Training Institute's Leaders Lounge. I am Dawn Marie Morris, and this is the place for leaders to come to rejuvenate, to recharge, to re energize, and to get information that is going to help them. Hopefully, you are one who is watching. Be their best selves professionally and personally. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and just do that right now so that you can be sure to catch all of these episodes. And also check out our book, Unpacking Agape, The 7 Languages of Intentional Leadership, which is designed to help leaders grow by first understanding the difference between an individual contributor and a leader of people from a flat to 3D leadership perspective, and then also understand the 7 core behaviors that I outline as languages that leaders should demonstrate so that they are operating from a place of selfless, sacrificial care and concern for others, or agape leadership. So go ahead and check that out. Now, back to my question. Which is more valuable? The $5 that I say, hey, here you are. Hold on to this and give it back to me tomorrow, or the $5 that I give to you, 5 minutes that I give to you today. Let me say it again so that it comes out correctly. Which is more valuable? The $5 that I give you to hold until tomorrow and say, hey, give this back to me tomorrow, or the 5 minutes of my time that I give you today? Which is more valuable? I hope that you said the latter. And here's why. If I give you the $5 and say, hey, hold on to this until tomorrow, you could go spend it on coffee or something today and then go grab another $5 bill and bring it back. Or you could hold on to that $5 and you could bring it back to me tomorrow, the same 5 that I actually gave you today. There are different ways that this $5 can be regenerated to me. You could even cash app me $5 so I don't actually get the 5 physical dollars, but I get it through Cash App or through Zelle or through some other digital mechanism. But if I give you 5 minutes of my day, it is gone forever. And so, as leaders, I want us to really start leaning into how we are spending our 86,400 seconds each day. Because what is spent in time can never be recovered. And what really brought me to bring this message to everyone today is because I was challenged with this. I had somebody who invited me or sent out a message about some AI training, and AI training was supposed to give us 5 ways that AI was going to help us improve our work in our businesses. And when I got there, it was nothing more than an opportunity for them to sell us on their AI platform. Now, I'm not against selling because as a business owner, that is how I stay in business. I have to sell. The difference is the person wasn't clear. If I had known I was coming to find out how their platform was going to help my business, then that would have positioned my mind towards that. I took my laptop, I'm ready to take notes because I'm thinking I'm about to learn something. So, in that arena, my 2 hours and really almost the whole day was spent, and I cannot get that back. I was hot. I was like, I cannot believe that this person had us come to this meeting and was not clear on what the purpose of the meeting was. So, how do we avoid that as leaders? Well, number one, of course, I did a deep dive on myself and my own positioning for what I need to ask the next time. So when we get requests for meetings or requests even for to come to things or to come to certain events, we've got to look beyond the pretty flyer. And I learned through that experience and some others that number one, I check the location. I don't just go to a place unless I have Googled what the location is going to look like. Now, for this particular place, it was a bank, so I was cool on what the location was going to be. Second thing is there has to be a real deep dive into what the content of that activity is going to be. So for me, my takeaway from how I could have avoided wasting my time was number one, I happen to know the organizer. I should have asked more questions about what the content of that hour and a half was going to be. The second thing is research the actual presenter. So I knew the person who was hosting it, and I'm going to go back and look at the flyer, but I needed to really know who was presenting the information. I presumed it was the person who had a company that would have lended itself well to the topic, and I trusted that person, and that person was going to lead the discussion, but that was not the case at all. So we've got to really do our research. Mark Cuban says that number one, if we go into a meeting and that meeting is not fruitful, we as leaders are required to remove ourselves from the situation as soon as possible. Now, I was sitting on the other side. I couldn't really get to the door very easily. And I wasn't sure where it was going. When I asked questions, they said we're going to get there, and they never actually got there. So in that particular situation, I'm not sure if that piece of advice would have helped me much. But when we can, as leaders, if we are entering a space and either we find out that what was sold to us is not what we're actually buying in terms of the use of our time, or that it may be in line with what we thought it was, but we have quickly realized that what it is really not going to serve us in the way that we need for it to serve us, then we can also step away and then go do something else, because we have to be fruitful and be mindful of how we're spending our day. Because unlike with this $5, I could see you tomorrow and get the $5 back again in a number of different ways. Once I gave my hour and a half away today, and that's just in raw time. That's not in duration, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But in raw time, I could never get that back. And I usually spend this particular day doing my sales calls. So I took time away from that, and I rescheduled another person for that particular meeting. The other thing that I did want to touch on is that time versus duration. There is a difference between the two. And so when I really looked at my day, yes, the meeting was an hour and a half, but I got there 30 minutes early. So add another 30 minutes onto that. And then I had to drive there, add another 30 minutes onto that. I had to drive home, add another 30 minutes onto that. So now we're going from 1.5 hours to 3 hours of my day, almost half of a work day, gone for something that was not productive. So we have to consider not only the raw time, but the duration when we are agreeing or we're saying yes to spending our day with individual or individuals who are taking us, especially in a direction that is different than what our norm is or what was originally scheduled. And even if it's not taking us off, but this person is asking us to do something. We need to do our due diligence. And I am talking, I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm preaching to myself as I'm preaching to y'all, that we've got to be mindful as leaders of how we are spending our time. Mark Cuban also says that if they're not writing a check, he's not coming to a meeting. Now, I'm not that stringent yet, but I am to the place where I am. If it's not productive in the window of my productivity time, which is my business day, then even if it's uncomfortable going forward, I'm going to have to find a way to remove myself. I will do that because if I ask a question and I can't get a straight answer, if you're telling me, hold on, wait, and it's not revealing itself to me within a 15 to 30 minute window of the time that I'm spending there, I'm removing myself from the situation. And I suggest that you do the same thing because, as one time management expert said, we have to be gracious with people, but ruthless with time. And that is so true. Be gracious with people, but ruthless with time. And because this is a segment that is on the fierce urgency of managing our time effectively, I'm going to wrap up right now. I've said all I need to say. Pay attention to what is written and unwritten before we give people our most valuable yes. All right. Pick up our book, worldclasstraining.net/agape. Always connect to us, worldclasstraining.net, for all of your leadership and professional development needs. In fact, we train a class called Your 86,400, How to Spend It Wisely, where we help you with managing your white space in your day, with blocking effectively, with how you plan your meetings and how you plan your different activities that you need for the day. We spend a great deal of time with helping you also with the time management matrix that was developed by Stephen Covey, so that you're able to place your daily activities in the right quadrants and spend time in the areas that are most effective. So please connect to us for Your 86,400, How to Spend It Wisely. It is one of our most requested classes and best classes because it really helps leaders and those growing as professionals to prioritize and to really skinny down on what matters most in a day. All right. So please, again, connect to us, worldclasstraining.net. If you go /P as in Peter or professional, D as in D or development, or worldclasstraining.net /services, you will be able to connect and find out more about that and schedule a consultation with us. All right. So until next time, remember, be gracious with people, ruthless with time. And until next time, remember, when you're better, we are absolutely better. Take care.